Welcome, friends, haters, gentle lovers, and feeders. Join me as we experience together the most bafflingly interesting person on the internet. On today's episode, Amberlynn Reed does basically nothing. Hello, my friends. So Amberlynn uploaded today, but real quick before we get started, I just wanted to touch on my little side character from yesterday. I got a lot of feedback, and it was generally pretty positive, but
I don't know. Some people weren't liking it.
But in all seriousness, I'm a dad. I'm a goofy video game playing nerdy dad. I like dad jokes, and I really felt like right now, especially in girl world, it gets pretty heavy and pretty dark. And I just thought I'd bring some silliness and some levity to an otherwise pretty serious situation and time in girl world. It will be a just once in a while sort of thing. I did get a couple comments saying I was kind of teetering on the line of actually making fun of BPD in general or people with BPD. And that was definitely not my intention. My intention is to make fun of Amber for faking it. So that's kind of why it's a robot that's got the Slay Queen eyeliner and stuff. So I want to make sure that when she does make an appearance, it's very clear that I'm making fun of Amber specifically. But in between appearances, she will probably just be sort of my Kermit, my little mascot for fake BPD or fake diagnoses in general. So, but I do appreciate the general feedback, positive or negative. I appreciate it all. And so anyway, I just wanted to make sure you guys know she's not going to be in every video, or, I'm going to make sure I don't overdo it. But so Alexis uploaded a video, and it was kind of a response to some of what Beck said, and also some receipts about Amberlynn talking about being with guys. Now, I am not LGBTQ or plus, so I don't really have the authority to speak on any of this, other than from an outsider's perspective to say that Amberlynn is a fucking hypocrite. And now here's the thing about Alexis. Let's all just make sure we understand what Alexis is doing here, okay? Alexis saw an opportunity to benefit from a relationship with Amberlynn Reed. And that is like, okay, whatever. I sort of think of it as like reaction channels are kind of like TMZ. And now I don't want to compare Amberlynn to a celebrity at all because she's not, but just kind of roll with me for a minute as just using it as an example. So reaction channels are the TMZ, and Amberlynn is the celebrity in this situation. And this would sort of be like a best friend of Lady Gaga's decided to contact TMZ and be like, I've got a bunch of tea, and then started kind of working for TMZ and sharing all of the insider knowledge that they had about Lady Gaga, right? That's kind of what's happening here. Alexis was on the inside, knows a lot of information, and is now sharing it. So, I mean, is it ethical? No, not even a little bit. And is she a terrible person for doing it? I mean, not really, kinda, but I mean, here's the thing. If Amberlynn called me right now and was like, hey, do you want to be best friends for a little bit? I mean, would I actually be friends with her? Hell no. But I'll tell you what I would do if I spent any time with her. I'd be recording the whole time because I'm going to make sure I'm going to catch some shit she says so I can share it. So, I mean, that's the thing, man. Like, yeah, we can all say Alexis is just in it for the money, but I mean, who cares at this point, right? She has an opportunity to share stuff that Amberlynn has said that nobody else has. At least nobody else is willing to share besides Beck at this point. And she's got receipts. I don't have a problem with it. I still think it's unethical. I think she's probably kind of a shithead for doing it, but I'm here for it. I don't care. So anyway, she basically made a video and talked about how Amberlynn was basically, she had phone relations with this guy. But then at the same time, the whole friendship with Alexis, Amberlynn was talking about how bi women are gross and that Alexis is gross for thinking that she might be bi and stuff like that. So, however, I will say there was one interesting part that made me do a double take a little bit. Let's listen to what Alexis has to say about Amberlynn's relationship with Abby, which now Abby was like what, 20 years old. So it's not illegal, but still kind of creepy that she's like 15 years older or 14 years older than Abby. But I caught something that I think might be worth looking into. So let's listen to what Alexis has to say, and then I will show you something that might make you think something's weird.
Regarding Abby and Amberlynn's relationship. So the only reason why Amberlynn and Abby didn't start dating was because Abby had a very religious upbringing.
A very religious upbringing, and that was kind of keeping them from being together.
And this young girl was truly having an identity crisis. But Amberlynn would tell her, like, it's okay to be gay, God doesn't hate gays.
So she basically reassured Abby and said, God doesn't hate gays, and it was a religious thing. Now, does that ring any bells to anybody else? Now, do you remember something strange that she said in her little live stream preview that she did in her video? Let's listen.
Dear Heavenly Father, grace me upon your presence. Dear Heavenly Father, grace me upon your presence.
Dear Heavenly Father, in your presence. I'm not sure exactly what she said, but Dear Heavenly Father, etc. That's a little weird, man. Like, again, we tend to read way too far into things. But for somebody who is like a staunch atheist agnostic to the point of telling her significant other that there's no heaven right after their mom died, I think that's a little weird. Is she with Abby? Is that the new boo? Just something to think about. I mean, it's definitely a stretch, but I mean, that's kind of what we do here in Girl World, isn't it? So that's all I really wanted to say about the Alexis video. I mean, there's some tea. It's not really anything terribly new other than just the receipts that she had for Amber kind of admitting that she might still be attracted to guys a little bit. So I think Amberlynn is confused and doesn't want to admit it. In her new video, it says, I had to go to the hospital. Getting COVID, freaking out about it, and then calling your mom probably wasn't the best idea. Maybe calling a doctor and seeing a doctor right off the bat might have been a good idea. Or they could actually give you some medication for the COVID, an antiviral. But no, we know, I mean, Beck spelled it out, and we knew this, but it's nice to know that Beck is confirming a lot of this stuff. She doesn't go to the doctor. She doesn't go to a primary care physician. She waits until it's an emergency and then goes to the emergency room. And then bitches and moans that they don't do all the tests and do all the stuff that a doctor's office would do because it's an ER. That's not what ERs are for. They're to just patch you up and get you to the point where you can see a doctor to get to the bottom of what's actually happening. So let's just see what Amberlynn has going on today. If you'd like to like and subscribe, that would literally be hectic. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey guys, so it is February 13th, and I just got done like filming a 2-hour reaction to a video. So if you guys have not seen that, then it's because I decided I'm not uploading it. It was
a 2-hour reaction? The video was only like 30 minutes long. We will find out at the end that she is claiming that it's actually a different video that she recorded and then decided not to upload. And she's claiming it took her hours and hours to make it and then just decided she didn't want to. So, whatever.
It was really hard to do, and I don't know. It was just like a lot.
It was really hard to do? What does that even mean? It's because she wasn't reacting to her laptop. She now sees that being a reaction channel isn't as easy as she thought. Here's the tea. It is easy. I mean, it's not hard to do this, but it's still more work than she will put into anything. So she's not going to do another one. She wanted to make it a series, but nah, she's not going to do that. She got done with that one, and I guarantee the first thing she said was, I'm never doing that shit again.
Whew, I just let out the biggest cough, and I think it might have fixed my voice a little bit. So I am on day 5 of COVID, and I have no smell at all. Like, at all. No taste. Like, it is the weirdest. My brain feels so weird. Like, my thinking, it's like foggy and weird and delirious, and I feel like I'm making choices that I wouldn't normally make. My chest hurts. I have this horrific cough that like is deep.
Making choices I wouldn't normally make. Do you think she was making good choices then?
Within, like guttural, with like phlegm. My throat hurts, this hurts, I have stuffy nose, runny nose, like the whole 9.
But yet she was still good enough, feeling good enough to do this nonsense with her hair. Put it up in the Ariana Grande look, which I didn't think it looked that great on Ariana Grande. Sorry, but it certainly doesn't look good on Amberlynn. And then she's got her Slay Queen eye stuff going on here. She wears those little gems on her eyes. She's not wearing them right now, but in one video when she did, one time I asked my daughter, I brought her in and I said, what do you think about this? She's 12 years old. I said, would you wear these little gems on your eyes like this? And she said, ooh, I like her eyeliner, but everything else is just too much. And I was like, okay. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
But my mom is now not feeling well, so I've been.
Do you think her mom is going to call the doctor? Probably. Because here's the thing. Amberlynn said, I called my mom and she told me just to let it run its course. I don't buy that. I don't think she called her mom. I think she just didn't want to go to the doctor. And she said that so she could then blame it on somebody else. All right? She does that. She will say that somebody else told her to do a thing. And then that way, when that thing turns out to be a bad idea, she can say, well, it wasn't my idea. It was their idea. So I would bet that her mom is probably going to go to the doctor.
Been checking up on her a lot, and she's been checking up on me.
I want you to know how nice I am and how caring I am. I've been checking up on her a lot, and she's been checking up on me a lot too.
Hey guys, today is February 14th. It is Valentine's Day, and it also is day 6 of me having COVID. So I feel exactly how I felt yesterday, so we don't really need to give any updates on that. But I will say, I have been trying really hard to have a balance of resting, but also getting up and still doing things. This is why I'm so appreciative of.
Like what? Getting up and still doing things? What is she doing?
Of Twinkie, because it gives me a reason to go outside and get some fresh air. And when I do that, this is how I be looking. So many flashbacks to when we had to wear freaking masks in public 24/7.
I am pretty sure she is just saying this to make it sound like she takes Twinkie out all the time, but I don't think she is. I think she probably takes Twinkie out once or twice a day, if that, probably not even that many times. And then she just uses the mop to clean up after her, other than that.
It's so weird. I am getting super just tired and winded quicker than usual. So it's hard for me to do anything. And I know I need to rest. The last time that I spent a long period of time resting in bed, I actually ended up getting walking pneumonia. This was years ago. And I'm telling you, that traumatized me. So I don't want that to happen, because
it can't just be a bad experience. It can't just be, I really hated that. It sucked. I don't want that to happen again. It traumatized her. This is why she claims to have everything under the sun, because everything to her is such a big deal, it traumatizes her. The dangling ankle, right? She stepped off of the sidewalk funny, and that traumatized her. She made 4 videos talking about how horrible it was. Just falling down. It wasn't broken. It wasn't really even sprained. She just rolled her ankle. But it traumatized her, you guys. Everything that happens to her is traumatic. So here's the thing. When everything is traumatic, nothing is.
For some people, COVID does turn into pneumonia. On top of that, being 500 pounds, you can lose your mobility extremely quickly. So it's I'm having to balance out, oh my God, even just standing here, I'm getting hot and winded. I really just wanted to update you guys. And
so she wants to play it both ways. She wants to be the victim of, I'm so, at my size, this is really dangerous for me, you guys. You don't understand. It's special because I'm so big. But then refuses to go to the doctor or do anything about it. And it's almost because she wants to be able to use it as her shield, right? I'm sick. You can't do it. You can't talk about me. You can't talk bad about me because at my size, it's really dangerous, you guys. You can't make fun of me for having COVID. But I'm not going to do anything about it. She likes to make sure that she's able to complain about things.
And I hope that you guys had a great Valentine's Day. I'm so ahead in my videos, which I love that. But having my weekly live,
I know what she means. She's recorded a bunch of videos ahead of time that she can schedule, but she is still almost 2 weeks behind in this clip. She's almost 2 weeks behind.
Streams has actually been really conflicting me, and I might be coming up with a different YouTube schedule. So that is definitely up in the air. I prefer the YouTube schedule that I have going now, and I love how ahead I am in videos, but the live streams is just conflicting with that, and I don't want to stop the live streams because so many people are.
How is that possibly conflicting with it? What does that even mean? She's saying that I am ahead of my videos and I'm recording so that I can just schedule them out every other day for, however long. But somehow her live streams are conflicting with that. So either that means she's claiming she doesn't have enough time because the live streams are getting in the way, or her live streams are going to be covering stuff that she doesn't want to talk about. Like right now, she is blissfully ignorant of the stuff that came out yesterday. Beck's video and Lex's video, mostly Beck's. And so I think what she means is in her videos, she doesn't have to cover any of the tea. She doesn't have to talk about any of that stuff. But a live stream pops up and she's like, oh, I have to talk about this shit. They're going to ask me about all this stuff. Because you know she's watching. You know she has seen the Ankles video and everybody's video about Beck. And she's probably seen Beck's video. And she's probably, in this moment, she's probably seething. But in this moment, she has no idea. She's living in a world where that didn't happen yet. So the live streams sort of bring her back to reality. And I don't think she likes that.
And I don't want to stop the live streams because so many people are enjoying them.
I don't want to stop the live streams because so many people are enjoying them. I mean, I guess we live in a world where there are people that enjoy Amberlynn Reid live streams, but whatever.
Hey guys, so it is February 15th and I'm actually going to the hospital. I did my little pulse ox thing and it was 93. So that was my oxygen, but my heartbeat was 57. And if you know anything about heartbeats, that is extremely low. Like if you're an athlete, maybe, but I am the opposite of an athlete. And I just really feel like my brain is just like foggy and weird. And it felt like
I have zero sympathy. Period. I have no sympathy in this moment. It's not like she didn't know calling the doctor was a better choice. She chose this. This wasn't a mistake. She didn't accidentally not call the doctor. She chose that.
a little blurry-eyed, like kind of lightheaded. I don't really know what's going on, and that's like really the only reason why I checked that. And I'm just feeling extremely anxious, and I don't know if it's like those numbers making me anxious and like the weird COVID symptoms that I'm having, or if it's like anxiety.
The weird COVID symptoms. There we go. There you go. This one pops up more than any of the others, right? The narcissistic personality disorder symptoms. Now, there are different types of NPD, but just the overall, like the belief that they are special or unique.
And like the weird COVID symptoms that I'm having, or if it's like
the weird COVID symptoms that I'm having. Like those are just all normal COVID symptoms, right? The loss of taste, it's a respiratory thing. So not being able to breathe very well. I mean, the cough, all of it is just normal. But to her, it's weird COVID symptoms. I mean, they're so weird. There must be something special about it.
It's like anxiety is actually what's causing those things, but that doesn't make sense. Anxiety doesn't cause a low heartbeat or a low oxygen. I don't know. But my mom said she's going to take me to the hospital. I tried to schedule a doctor's appointment with my doctor, and literally I won't even be able to see him in 2 weeks. Like 2 weeks from now. That's
no. She's saying that so that those of us that say you should have called the doctor, she can say, I did. Look, I did. I totally did, but he wouldn't see me for 2 weeks. Like, girl, if you've got COVID, you can get into the doctor. She did not call her doctor. A doctor will work you in if you've got COVID and you need to get on top of it. They figure out a way to get you in. And if they don't, you need to find a different doctor. I honestly don't think she has insurance. I think she's saying that she called the doctor just to sort of placate the people that are telling her she didn't call the doctor, but it's a lie. I don't think she did.
crazy. And usually like when you go to urgent care, they can't run many tests on you. And I feel like if I go in there with like an issue with my heart, they're going to tell me to go to the ER anyways. I don't want to do this. I don't want to go, but I'm like low-key scared.
The problem is now you're stuck going to the ER. You don't really have much of a choice. Your symptoms have gotten pretty severe, but you could have avoided that by calling the doctor when it first started. She put herself in this position.
Hey guys, I just came back from the hospital and
Just got to make sure we saw that she's really in the hospital.
Hi baby, come here. She miss her mommies. And then
Man, Twinkie's looking pretty old. I mean, she is old, but I don't know. She's still pretty cute though.
I missed you too. Yeah. So I just came back and I took off the little EKG thingies because they gave me an EKG and a chest x-ray and everything came back normal, but my blood pressure is like extremely high, which is not normal for me. Oh, loving me. You're so sweet. But yeah, they did just send me home and they weren't worried and they didn't see anything, but they said that like if my breathing does like it.
So here's the thing. If I were a vlogger and I just kind of recorded myself throughout the day, My dogs would be in every single video. I would be talking to them, sitting with them, playing with them, that kind of thing. I've got 2 kids, so that would take up most of my time. But like when the kids and I are playing video games, or when we're doing homework, or when we're just watching movies or whatever, one of the dogs is sitting with us. And so if I were just filming my day, not only would it just happen, right? They would just happen to be in the video because they're around us all the time, but I would make sure that they were in the videos all the time because dogs are awesome. Bruno, can you speak? Yeah, that's a good boy. That's a good boy. Oh, Bella needs it. Oh, okay. That's a good girl. And Penny can only sit. Penny can sit. Sit. Can you sit? Come here, Penny. Can you sit? That's a good girl. Oh, I'm nitpicking a little bit, but I just feel like as much as she claims to love her animals, she has to like really put effort in to show them, you know? I mean, I'm not vlogging. I don't vlog. I would love to show my kids on camera, but I'm not going to do that. It's the internet. They're not ready for that. But the next best thing is showing my dogs.
My brain is not the same. It does not feel okay. It feels weird, and
brain fog is very strange, man. Like, it is a weird sensation. If you've never had it, it's hard to describe. But if you've had it, you probably can relate because it's a weird feeling, man. And the loss of taste and stuff, yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. It's snowing outside, and right when I got home, I took her out, and she does not deal with the cold very well. No. And then I fed her too. What is it that you want from mom? I think she's worried about me.
Okay, so I'm in Oklahoma. The funny thing is, this is long enough ago. It was snow. Of course, now the weather in Oklahoma changes pretty quickly, but in this video, it was snowing, and it was snowing a lot at that point. In fact, my kids were out of school for a week. It had snowed so much. But today it's like 80 degrees. So.
Which then freaks me out because I'm like, does Twinkie know something that I don't know? But yeah, like this COVID braid thing, like, I don't know. I've heard about it. Like my mom, we were talking about it today, and she said that like she kind of experienced the same thing. And I don't know, my brain just doesn't feel right. Like I just feel so just exhausted. It feels like I've... So
see how she says that? It's the uniqueness. She says, I talked to my mom about it, and she says she feels the same thing. But I don't know. It's really weird.
I don't know. I've heard about it. Like my mom, we were talking about it today, and she said that like she kind of experienced the same thing. And I don't know, my brain just doesn't feel right. Like
I talked to my mom and she experienced the same thing. I don't know, my brain just doesn't feel right. Like, yeah, that's what they're saying, right? That's kind of the point, is that it's normal. What you're going through is normal, but she can't just leave it at normal. It has to be unique and special.
I just feel so just exhausted. It feels like I've never slept a day in my life. So I don't know if I should just like sleep or something. My body already now.
Why not? Honestly, what the fuck else are you going to do? That's a great idea. Just sleep. You know, your body tends to heal better while you're sleeping. As long as you don't do it too much, obviously, but sleep is probably not a bad thing for you to do when you have COVID. Plus, it just kind of passes the time faster.
Naturally fights against sleep, and that's why like my sleeping schedule is usually always so crazy. So I feel my body like fighting against it right now. And I think it's also because like I just feel super anxious, and I'm genuinely like worried for myself because I'm just like, what is happening? Like, why?
Even after being told from the hospital and her mom and everybody that what you're going through is normal, she can't accept it. She just cannot accept that what she's going through is normal. So this is not a COVID symptom. What's happening to her right now is a narcissism symptom. The fact that she can't get past the idea that her COVID is just normal COVID.
It is day 8 of me having COVID. So I want to show you guys. I finished the tuxedo cat Lego because I have had a lot of downtime lately.
Oh my God. I've had a lot of downtime lately, you guys. A lot of downtime lately. Okay. All right. So when the pandemic first hit, a lot of people were saying that very thing. That, man, I've got so much free time. I'm just, I don't know what to do with all this time that I have, because people had to stay home from work. People that normally go out and do things were stuck in their house. So it was weird for them. But for her to say, I have a lot of downtime lately, like, girl, I mean, does anybody believe that? Does anybody actually think that she stays busy all the time? Or do you think even like her babies are like, oh, I mean, whatever. They just kind of look past that. Because she can't think. I mean, there can't be that many people that hear her talk about how busy she is and believe it. And what does she do that she thinks she's so busy? I mean, Lego and journaling. But Beck has laid it out pretty plainly that Amberlynn just doesn't do jack shit. She just sits around and complains most of the time and watches YouTube.
Isn't it literally so cute? It looks just like wasabi. And this was like...
Now, of course, that was a while back, but we know Amberlynn doesn't change. She never has and she never will.
Literally so much fun to make. So an update on me, I actually finally got...
It would look like wasabi if it was a lot more like mangy looking, a lot more dirty and nasty looking. Poor wasabi. And he probably misses his sister too, so that sucks.
Got to like physically see my test results because I was able to log into my little health thing, and it does show that like my x-ray, my EKG was completely normal. And random fact, it showed that my heart is actually in healthy limits, like the size of it. I've always been like, do I have an enlarged heart? Every time I've gotten a chest x-ray, it shows that it's normal. When me and my mom were in the waiting room yesterday, there was...
Wait, you've seen results and seen that it's normal, but still wondered if you had an enlarged heart? Man, she is such an idiot.
It's like a cluster of these like guys who were there because I think the day prior they were exposed to meningitis when they were like riding along on an ambulance. I don't know the full story, but I was getting like super anxious. And me and my mom were like glancing at each other like, oh my God. And then one of the doctors came out and told the receptionist, like, if anyone else comes in that is part of this group that has been exposed to meningitis, you need to have them wear masks. And me and my mom were already wearing masks, obviously, but like the urgency and the doctor's like tone and voice, like definitely kind of scared me and my mom. So an update on...
Yeah, I mean, that would scare anybody, right? That would at least be a little nerve-wracking to anybody sitting in there. If they hear somebody talking about meningitis, you would immediately go, "Ew, that doesn't sound good. Should I move? Should I scoot down?" But, I mean, anxiety, you guys.
About me, I know I've just been giving tons of updates because that is literally what is going on in my life right now. I woke up with my lymph nodes, like, in my...
Hey, she said lymph nodes instead of noids. I guess we're making progress.
My armpit area and also my groin, they're hurting. And I'm like, okay. I thought the lymph node pain was just going to be part of like the earlier stages, but I don't know. I woke up and genuinely like my body was hurting again. So that's no fun. And I almost could taste today. I made something to eat and I swear to you, there was some taste, but it was like not really the flavor of what I was eating. So it was like an off gross taste. I was like, okay, gross. On the plus side, at least it wasn't just like no taste at all. So something is happening.
So I guess she's saying that because she's getting her taste back, that means that she's kind of starting to get over COVID a little bit. But I think she should be celebrating losing her taste, period. Of course, it doesn't stop her. Like I said, you still are hungry when you lose your taste. So I think she would eat anyway.
Something is improving in that stage. So I am glad about that. This COVID has definitely like kicked me in the butt. For sure. I just cannot wait to feel like myself again because I have just been feeling so off. I have been off in every single part of my life. Like I just feel so disconnected to the world and I don't know. So the other day,
So we will overlook that it should be disconnected from the world, but whatever. So disconnected from the world, that could be disconnected from the world. The Amberlynn Reid story. I mean, that is Amberlynn Reid. She's disconnected mentally, physically. There's Amberlynn Reid and then there's the world, and they rarely ever really cross paths.
I smelled this, and this is like one of my most favorite smells in the world, and there was no smell. Like I put my nose in the bottle, nothing. So this has been my like smell tester, so let's do it again today. Wait, I feel like there's a little something there, but it's like the weirdest smell in the world. Oh, I don't know what that was.
Yeah, it's a weird... Again, it's kind of hard to describe. If you've never lost your smell or taste during COVID, it's... You go from having no taste to almost like you know how like when you taste something after you brush your teeth, like it sort of messes with the flavor. You can still sort of taste that it is what it is, but it also has that mint flavor to it. It's sort of like that, but not mint. It's like your mind is adding a new flavor to it, and it's not a good one. So I know exactly what she's talking about right here.
Was, oh my God, there's a faint something. So we're making improvements. I'm telling you, this smelled like water the other day. And then because I can't taste, I have been like overdoing it on like hot sauce and stuff just to feel something in my mouth. which is so weird. Not being able to taste, but being able to feel that hot sauce actually really does hurt. So I decided to get some like jalapeno chips in hopes that maybe like, I don't know,
Leave it to Amberlynn when she loses her taste, instead of just going, cool, I just won't eat as much for a while, she goes out searching for some way to make sure she can stuff her face. She's got to find something to eat. She's got to find something to eat. She's got to find some way to make eating worthwhile, instead of just taking it as an opportunity to eat healthier, because this would be a great opportunity to eat stuff that you don't normally eat or don't like. Of course, she claims she likes broccoli, but whatever. But grab some grilled chicken and broccoli and eat that for a week. But no, she's got to go find some way to get her fix. That's what it is. It's her food addiction. This is her getting her fix on flavor.
crunch will be satisfying. Maybe
Satisfying. It has to be satisfying.
I could feel a spice on my tongue. Like, not having your smell and your taste is the weirdest feeling in the world.
And I guess it's just weird that she thinks she has to have some sort of sensation in her mouth, right? Like, what? And I know that sounds kind of dirty, but Amberlynn, if you ever see this, she won't. Why do you have to have some kind of sensation in your mouth, whether it's flavor or, feeling the hot sauce or anything? Why can you not just go through life without having that for a week? It's okay not to have flavors in your mouth for a while.
World. But according to this, we're making improvement, and I'm very happy about that. And I have a ramen in the microwave, so I'm going to be eating on that. I've been enjoying ramen because the broth from it has been everything. Just like that warmth has been so great. Literally, it's like a bowl of worms, like my life.
And that, I said the other day that it is obvious that all she thinks about is food, which we knew that all along, but it's just, as time goes on, it just becomes more and more obvious that that is the only thing on her mind. And this is a great example of that. Even when she can't taste anything, all she thinks about is food.
Chat said about spaghetti. It's giving bowl of worms and warm broth. So I just finished my ramen and I had to share this. I literally took a bite of a red onion the other day, like an apple, and I tasted nothing. But instantly my eyes, oh my god, my brain. But instantly my eyes, they started burning and watering, but I could not taste anything. Like, I was able to literally take a bite of an onion like an apple. It was crazy weird.
Yeah, it's not the flavor of the onions that make you cry. It's because they release chemicals that irritate the nerves around your eyes. I mean, to me, it sounded like she was trying to say that it's weird that even though I couldn't taste the onion, my eyes were watering. I mean, maybe she was just saying it was weird that I couldn't taste it and my eyes were watering, like they were just kind of all part of the same story. But it sounded to me like she was trying to say that it's so weird, like I couldn't even taste the onion, but my eyes were still watering. Like, that has nothing to do with it.
Hello. So it is February 17th, and I literally just woke up because my Factor was delivered. So Factor is just like a meal delivery service, which I'm sure you guys have heard about it. I've done things like this in the past, and I just feel like it's easier for me to stay on track. And
are we really doing this again? Like, I don't know if she's done Factor specifically, but she always has these little gimmicks. For most people, something like Factor would be just a convenience thing, right? They want some, I don't know how good, I've never tried it, but in theory, they just want some kind of good, kind of home-cooked-ish meal, but they don't have the time to make it and all that kind of stuff. But for Amberlynn, she's using it as like a diet plan. That's not how it works, especially for Amberlynn. Like, it could work for some people if they kind of stick to a plan, like they order specific types of food and they just stick to that. That could help them on a diet journey or a weight loss journey. But we know Amberlynn, even if she was using it as a diet plan or something like that, she would eat the meal and then she would keep eating crap other than that too. I still think it's funny that Beck said that all the times that Amberlynn would pretend like she only ate half a meal or something and say she's not hungry anymore, she would turn off the camera and finish it. And then they said, even the meals that Amberlynn said she didn't like, she would finish it anyway and then order the stuff that she does like. So yeah, she's out here claiming that she's eating 1,200 calories a day and that she's going to do this meal plan. Like, shut up. She eats far more than she admits to, and she knows it. So no, this isn't going to do jack shit for her.
And to eat better, smaller portions. I actually ordered my first box way before I got sick. So it's like, I can't even really taste anything. And these meals have to be ate within.
She said that so strongly. These have to be 8. And she's got a little smirk. That was a troll. Because it's a good way for her to get comments. It's kind of rage bait. You know, she can say 8 and somebody in her comments are going to say it's eaten. And it also reminds me, RIP, just my 2 cents. They were hilarious. They were a great reaction channel. And in their intro, every video, they called out Amberlynn for saying 8 instead of eaten. And it just reminded me of that. So yeah, they will be missed for sure.
7 days. So it's like, okay. So I'm not sponsored whatsoever, but I do have a.
Here's the thing, guys. She will never be sponsored. Period. No sponsor is going to look at her engagement. She does get a lot of engagement, but it's almost all negative. So if you ever see her like holding up a product or talking about a product or anything like that, just trust me, she is never going to get a sponsor. We like to think that maybe she's sneaking in sponsors here and there, but no, she cannot get a sponsor. She gets way too much hate. No company is ever going to want to be associated with her, period.
So I'm not sponsored whatsoever, but I do have a link that you guys can click to get some of it off, like some of the money off for your.
So that's kind of an affiliate, but it's really not. It's really just a referral link, right? Which I think anybody can do. I don't think you have to be an influencer or anything. I think you can just basically get some money off by referring people. I'm almost positive that if it was an affiliate link, she would be getting actual money from purchases and stuff that people used through her link, not just discounts.
Get and try it out. So it does come with recyclable like ice packs, so your food stays cool. So I'm going to show you guys the ones that I got, and in future videos, probably even today, even though I can't really taste, this is going to be.
That's not going to stop her. She's going to eat. I bet you she'll eat 2 or 3 of those today, even though she can't taste. That's why she got such a big box.
Almost pointless, but we'll do some taste tests. So since the first box was cheaper, I did get 12 meals, so that's 2 a day. But probably for like future boxes, I'm probably just gonna get 7, so I have 1 a day. All right, so these are all the meals I got. Cheesy garden herb chicken with creamy broccoli rice and chili garlic zucchini. A Tex-Mex bowl with green chili cheese sauce and cauliflower rice. Creamy tomato basil shrimp with garlic spinach and pesto zucchini. Blackened salmon with smoked Gouda cauliflower.
Is it weird to anybody else that Factor, because from what I understand, it's pretty expensive. Like all things considered, it's pretty expensive. And it's really just a TV dinner. Like I've never tried any of those, so maybe they're awesome, but I don't know, it just seems strange to me that people would pay that much. And I guess the idea is that you get these TV dinners, but they're delivered. You don't have to go to Walmart or anything to get them, but man, people will pay for convenience, won't they?
Grits and broccoli, 3-bean vegan chili with cornbread casserole and tofu-based crema, spicy pork bolognese and cavatappi with roasted green beans and pearl onions. I'm gonna take the rest of these out.
And they make it sound so fancy, right? It's all, maybe it is. So, I don't have anything against Factor. You know, that's, if you like it, cool. I don't know that I like it or not. Here's the thing, I like almost all food, so I'm sure I would like them. But I do like that they use lots of really fancy sounding ingredients and stuff, you know. It's not just potatoes and roast beef and cornbread.
Roasted garlic butter salmon with celery root, cauliflower mash, and Parmesan broccoli.
Fish and mashed taters and broccoli.
Cavatappi and meatballs with marinara sauce and garlic broccoli.
Pasta and broccoli.
Homestyle turkey and gravy with potato, celery root mash, roasted Brussels sprouts, and spiced cranberry sauce.
Turkey and gravy and mashed up veggies.
Louisiana shrimp with smoked Gouda cauliflower grits and chicken andouille tomato gravy.
Shrimp and grits. And gravy.
Smoky Gouda chicken with roasted red potatoes and Parmesan green beans.
Cheesy chicken and green beans.
And then for free, I got 2 of these immunity and turmeric shot, which is lemon, apple, ginger, honey, turmeric, and black pepper. We should probably do one of these now. So I'm going to put these all in the fridge.
Wait, what is that?
Pepper. I got 2 of these immunity and turmeric shot, which is lemon.
Immunity and turmeric shot. So it's like a 5-hour energy kind of thing, but for immunity. So it's basically like alternative medicine kind of stuff, right? Which, I guess as like an immune system boost is probably not a bad thing, but when you have COVID, I hope she doesn't expect it to help at all, because it's not going to do anything for you when you have like an actual illness, you know.
Apple, ginger, honey, turmeric, and black pepper. We should probably do one of these now. So I'm gonna put these all in the fridge, and they all have expiration dates, which I love. I mean, it doesn't really matter anyway because they do all expire on the 26th because they last for a week.
She's looking pretty big.
Dates, which I love. I mean, it doesn't really matter anyway because they do all expire on the 26th because they last for a week in the fridge. You are not supposed to freeze them at all. So I haven't ate anything today, so I don't know if my taster is better than yesterday, but we will see when I try one of these. Actually, I spoke too soon. We're going to be trying it now. I've never taken one of these type of shots before. I'm a little nervous.
And I think at this point she says that kind of thing just for attention. Like she just knows that it's going to get a reaction. It's just like a juice drink. I'm a little nervous. What do you think it's going to do?
Together. Do we drink the whole thing at once? Probably. Cheers.
Man, I fell for it, man. It's rage bait and I'm falling for it. But I can't help it, man. She's so fucking annoying.
Cheers. It's a faint taste. Like.
So 2 things. That's not how you take a shot. Second, you can't taste anything anyway. So what are you nervous about? Just chug it. Who cares? Man. I don't like her.
Barely anything. Wow, I feel healthy already. So
Oh, shut up. Okay. I mean, I know she was joking, but also shut up.
always heard people say that when they had COVID, like their breathing was so bad and like they got super winded and exhausted doing literally anything. I'm telling you, that is so the truth, because things that I do like every day on the day-to-day basis.
Oh, man, I thought she was going to say, yeah, all those people are always getting winded, but I'm not. I'm actually doing pretty good. It's not as bad as I thought it would be because my stamina is so good. No, of course not, because she's obese. So why would her symptoms be any better than anybody else's?
This are so hard to do now. Like my breathing is drastically worse. Like taking out Twinkie leaves me winded and it's triggering, and it brings me back to like really bad headspace back when I like.
It's triggering, you guys. It's triggering.
Couldn't do a lot of things. I couldn't shower. I couldn't cook. I couldn't go outside. Are you joking?
Now, I have been fortunate enough that I have never really had to deal with trauma, like real trauma, knock on wood. So I can't speak specifically or personally about triggers, but just from my understanding, from what I've heard psychologists and therapists say, is that a trigger is a thing that happens that causes your brain to recall an actual traumatic moment or an actual traumatic event. So like people that have PTSD, a trigger will then take them back to what it was that caused them to have PTSD. Kind of like when veterans come back from war and they hear fireworks or something, they start freaking out because it is triggering. Or if a child is abused and somebody walks up with their hand like this, probably to give them a high five or something, the kid does this because it triggers that memory. So for her to say, my not being able to breathe very well is triggering, it takes me back to when I was fatter and I didn't do anything, is kind of insulting, I would think. If I actually had triggers, if I had an actual diagnosed disorder like PTSD or something like that that would actually have real triggers, I would be kind of annoyed with her for saying this, that she is triggered into just remembering when she was fatter and lazier. That just seems insulting to me. And if you have some sort of issue where triggers are a problem, let me know. Is that insulting to you? Does that piss you off when she talks like that? Because I'm only just kind of putting myself in your shoes, and I feel like if I had real triggers, I would be annoyed with her.
Because I could not breathe. I have done a lot to get to a better spot and to get to the point where I can walk a mile, and I can walk even further than a mile. Does it take me a long time to do it? Yes.
When's the last time she did that? She did that one time like 9 months ago or a year ago where she walked Twinkie and claimed it was for a mile. Once. But she'll hold on to that forever. But it doesn't really matter because you're still 500 fucking pounds. So you can walk around the earth. You're still 500 pounds. And you're lucky that your weight and your health hasn't caught up to you yet. You're lucky you're young enough, and you have been so fortunate that you haven't gotten diabetes and lots of other things that are probably just around the corner, because there's no way she's ever going to change her habits, her eating, or anything.
But I am capable. So feeling like because I got COVID, it's kind of like backtracking like drastically. Like it definitely gets me in my head like hardcore. As for my factor meals, I didn't eat any today because
You're sick. But to her, it's taking me back, and it's making me feel like I haven't accomplished anything. First of all, you haven't. You still weigh almost as much as you did then. And honestly, maybe the same. I think you just carry your weight a little different now. But yeah, you haven't put in any work for any of this. And that's just, what a stupid thing to say, that being sick in this moment is making me feel like I haven't accomplished all the things that I've accomplished. Shut up.
still have food at home. I don't want to go to waste, so I was eating on that. Plus, I can barely taste.
Oh, come on, wait.
As for my factor meals, I didn't eat any today because I still have food at home. I don't want to go to waste, so I was eating on that.
You buying it? I'm not buying it. She's saying, I had some food already. I didn't want it to go to waste, so I had to eat that. So either she ate the shit out of that stuff, right? She ate everything she could because she had the excuse, I don't want it to go to waste, right? She got into her head like, I don't want any of this food to go to waste. So, nom, 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 nom. And she ate it all. Or she dove into those factor meals, man. She was reading those off like it was poetry. Mashed potatoes and turkey and gravy, whatever it was. It sounded all fancy, and she was drooling reading that stuff.
Barely taste, so I feel like I'm not missing out on much. My mom said that she might want a few, so I might give her some. See, I'm like, gasping for breath as I'm standing here. Oh my God. I was trying to say was,
yeah, so shut up.
My mom, she said that she wanted a few for her lunches because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to eat all these this week. Things starting.
She said she's not going to be able to eat all of them this week. In 1 week, she won't be able to eat all those. That conversation didn't happen. Kind of like the moon landing.
The moon landing didn't happen.
Next week, I'm actually only going to be getting 7 a week. It's just the first box is so much cheaper, so I got 14. Also, in the beginning of this vlog, I said that I did a reaction video. I'm telling you, it took a lot of hard work. The editing was insane, and the full completed video is 1 hour and 11 minutes. I did upload it. I did schedule it. I did have it ready to rumble, but then last minute, I decided I am not going to be uploading that, so it was a lot of hard work.
Oh, come on. No. It's a reaction video. The editing was insane. Man, there's no real editing. I mean, like, I guess it's technically editing because she's trimming and cutting and stuff like that, but she doesn't put any, like, effort into it. It's just funny how when she was reacting to her laptop, it was easy and no big deal. But now that she sees what actual reaction channels do, it's so hard. This is hard. I guarantee she was sitting there too, doing all this editing, going like, damn, this is harder than I thought it was. But it's still not that hard. She says it was hard work, you guys. Like, it's not hard. It's time consuming. Yeah, it does take some time, but it's not hard work.
I did upload it. I did schedule it. I did have it ready to rumble, but then last minute I decided I am not going to be uploading that. So it was a lot of hard work, a lot of energy into one video that will not be shown to the public because I don't know. I don't feel comfortable. And it's like, if something in my gut is telling me like, Amberlynn, don't do it, then like,
I'm calling bullshit. She wanted to be able to say, I've been working really hard, you guys, but you'll never see it. So she can just say that.
Like, literally don't do it. A woman's instinct is not to be messed with. I will say that. And my instinct was telling me, don't do it. Like, while filming it, while editing it, while scheduling it.
Yet she will release that entire response to Zachary Michael looking like a complete psychopath. Her instinct didn't say anything then. She said her instinct is telling her stuff. No. Because look at all the stuff that's on the internet that she's posted.
I lost control of my bowels and I pooped my pants. I've seen the cookie crumble cookie video, so it became a meme. it became a thing. So I said, you know what? Loud and proud. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm confident in it. I do not exist on Instagram without the devil horns.
If she had an instinct or any kind of actual direction going on in her head, it is wrong.
And then finally I was just like, you know what? My gut and my instinct is going to win. But I am going to end this vlog. I love you guys.
I would like to know what video she was reacting to, because the one that she did actually post that she reacted to was like 30 minutes long. And it was her "I've been lying to you" video. And instead of noticing all of the terrible ways she like gaslit and made excuses and was just generally a piece of shit, she glazed herself the entire time and was like, man, I did so good. I am so proud of myself for that video. So if she did that with that video, I would love to know what video she claims that she was going to upload and for some reason didn't. And I think that's why she said that. I don't think there was any video at all. I think she wants people to ask what it was.
So much. I'm actually about to go take a shower and I'm about to cut.
I'm about to go take a shower. Okay, she didn't just get out of the shower. She's going to go take a shower. You know, that's the way to do it. If she's going to lie about showers, she might as well say, I'm going to take a shower, because then we can't say, girl, you look gross, because then, you know, she's supposed to. She hasn't taken a shower yet.
Cuddle up in bed afterwards, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
So, yeah, she's an idiot. She didn't go to the doctor when she should have, and so she went to the hospital. She's buying Factor, and she's eating whatever she can find, even though she can't taste anything. She's trying to find a way to taste. We know that she's horrible. And the crazy thing is, it just gets worse and worse and worse. No matter how bad we think she is, any information that comes out about her just makes it obvious that it's far worse than we ever thought. And maybe one of these days we'll figure out why. But I think we all know if she would get diagnosed with NPD or something like that, I think she could actually make some strides to be a better person. But the good news is we know she'll never, ever do that. So we'll always have something to talk about. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.